Okay, so to begin, the very first thing you want to do is clip your hair back because you do not want to dye any of your actual hair while you're doing this. Unless, of course, you're doing it at the same time, then by all means. Then you're going to need a developer. I recommend a 10 unless you are going lighter with your brows. This is definitely me going darker because, as you can see, I have very sparse and brows for like a blonde person, and I have dark brown hair, so it's retarded. So I always dye my hair, or my eyebrows. And then again, this is a 10 developer. This one is for sensitive scalp, so I like that better for using it on my face. Please do not do this if you are clumsy. It will be a terrible decision and you will maybe light your eyes on fire. And then the color I'm using is dark natural brown. And it's a 3-in, so it's a neutral because my hair pulls red. I don't want red in my hair. I want it to be just brown. So that's what I'm using for that. I generally go half and half on the portions, so 1-to-1 ratio. Then I use a little glass container to mix it in. You don't need a ton. And then also I have a little bit of water here. Now to apply this, you can use a brush, but I recommend just getting a little bunch of Q-tips like I have here that I'm throwing around. I use it for application and then also to clean up. And since this is a dye, you want to make sure that you haven't just recently waxed or tweezed or anything like that because you don't want anything open in your skin. You want everything to be closed. So what you do is you dye it, and then when you're finished, you can do all your cleanup. That way if you dye any extra hairs, you know you can pluck them out or wax them or however you do your eyebrows. And then you just have a perfectly nice and neat result. So as you can see here, I'm just going to use a tiny bit, about that much. It's just a little drop in there because they're eyebrows. Eyebrows are not that big. And then again, about the same amount of developer. I generally don't measure anything, ever. If you feel more comfortable with measuring, then measure. But now I'm just taking a Q-tip and mixing it all together. I will not use the same Q-tip to apply it with because the dye will kind of move around the cotton at the end of the bud. And, you know, you want something a little smaller and more precise to add it on there. See how big that's turned just from mixing it up? So I don't want to use that to apply it. If you have huge eyebrows, it probably won't matter. But I don't. So I'm going to use a smaller one. Or one that hasn't been used to mix up my dye. This is what I'm starting out with. I've just coated it in the dye and it's a very thin layer, so it's not going to get everywhere, but I'm still going to have all the circumference of the Q-tip to work with. You do not need a lot. You don't need to place it all over the skin if you're not getting it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to dye your skin. You're just doing the hairs. Just keeping it kind of close to everything as you're going. If you go a little bit over, like I said, you can tweeze and wax when you're finished, and that'll clean everything up. And if you feel more comfortable with letting this sit for a bit, it'll turn darker, so you'll kind of be able to see exactly where you've gone with it. But as it sits on my eyebrow, I'll be able to see anyways, and then I can just do cleanup as I'm waiting. You don't need to leave this on for 20 minutes like you do your hair, because you don't ever want it as dark as... Well, I suppose some of you do, but you don't want to leave this on for 20 minutes. It generally takes like a couple minutes and then you just wipe it off. Also, you can do this more frequently than you do your hair because you wash your face more frequently than you wash your hair. You wash your face twice a day, you wash your hair, I mean, depending on what your schedule is, I do it every other day. So, you know, my hair is getting a lot less washing, so the color lasts a lot longer than on your eyebrows. And I haven't even re-dipped this. I'm using the same one for the other eyebrow. Like I said, you don't need very much. And I can see I've gone a little bit outside here, and I'll clean that up in a second. You can see this one's starting to darken up a bit. Now I'm going to take a clean Q-tip and just kind of clean up underneath, following along. And if you twist the Q-tip as you go, you'll keep it clean so you're not smearing the product. You want to twist it out and away. And then for the other eyebrow, I'm going to change Q-tips because, again, I don't want any smears. I want everything just clean and nice. Alright, now I'm just going to wait this out. Okay, it's been 1 minute so far, and as you can see, there's stuff a little bit higher than what I want, so I'm just going to take the Q-tip again. Again, another clean one. And just kind of push it down some. And it does get quite a bit darker than probably what you're comfortable with. It will not stay this dark because, again, it's touching some of your skin, so it looks really, really vibrant. But as soon as you take it off, it really lightens things because you can really only see it on your hair. Okay, we'll wait like 1 more minute and then probably take this off. Okay, you can use Q-tips in the water that I showed you before that I'm going to use to remove this. I actually just went and got some cotton pads because it's just going to be easier for me to do that. If you are doing it in the bathroom like a normal person, you can just rinse it off in the sink. You just want to rinse, you don't want to use soap obviously, but yeah. So I'm just going to dip this right now and wipe this all off. And dry it with a clean cotton pad. And brush it through so you can see. See, it's just a little bit darker, but it's substantially less than this one over here. Let me get this one all cleaned off. If you do have really sensitive skin, you can wash this off with soap so you don't have anything on there, but I recommend something really, really gentle, not like a strong or very acidic facial cleanser, because you're already going to start taking out the color. And you just put it on there, so that's not exciting. Alrighty, so as you can see, they are completely dyed and cleaned up, and everything is right with the world. So basically now you can go and tweeze or wax or whatever you want to do, you know, brush them up, trim them down, do all the stuff that you need to do to make your eyebrows perfect for you. This is great because then you don't have to fill in your eyebrows as much. Like me, I'll still have to fill in some because I just have sparse eyebrows in certain areas, like this spot right here stays very sparse because my eyebrows hate me, like right here. But it's a lot better when, you know, you're having your no makeup days. You just know that your eyebrows are done. And, you know, it's just a lot easier that way. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, put your best face forward. I'll catch you guys later. Hey guys, Taryn here. And I'm doing my Wednesday favorites with you. I'm like 5 days late because I am a slacker. And that is all. Okay.